Welcome, everybody. My name is Sherry Stoka, and I am going to go through this short presentation to really help you better understand gut health. What it means when we talk about the gut and why it's so important for every system of the body. So, first, I just wanted to say, congratulations on making the decision to actually look deeper into your foundational health, because this really will be the piece that moves you to that next level. So I'm going to really just reinforce some very important pieces and highlight the really important components that are involved in this process. And let's go ahead and get started. So why do we start here? So some important things to understand is that the gut is connected to every system of the body. The gut and the brain they have this pathway and they are in constant communication. But this pathway, I mean, there are millions and trillions of pathways, and every system is affected by the health of the gut, and therefore, obviously, the health of the brain plays a big role as well. But if the gut is injured, then other systems will suffer. Diet alone will not fix most gut issues. So this is really important to understand. Weight loss, eating healthier for a short period of time, losing some weight will not fix most gut issues. We're going to talk more about that. Weight loss will be very difficult long-term if the body is out of balance. And when we refer to being the body out of balance, it's really driven by the health of the gut, because again, the gut affects all the other components. So this will give you another look at what being out of balance means. So as you can see from the tree, I always like to give that image because people understand the roots of a tree and the leaves of a tree. The tree is not going to be healthy if the root is not there, if the root is damaged or it's been severed. So that is kind of how you can look at the human body. So the gut is the roots, and it is going to affect, as you can see, the other systems. So how you know if you're out of balance? If you have digestive discomfort, if you're constipation, you have bloating, constant bloating, stomach cramps, acid reflux, heartburn, you're out of balance. The gut, there's something going on in the gut. Do you have unexplained weight gain? Are you tired? Do you have, sleep disturbances? Do you have skin conditions, rashes or eczema? Do you have food sensitivities? You eat certain foods and you are like laying on the couch or you're running to the toilet. That's a gut issue. Do you have mood changes, depression, anxiety? That's a gut issue. Autoimmunity, gut issue, sugar cravings, again, just signs of the body being out of balance. So Weight Loss MD, we are all about treating the foundation so we can really get you healthy and keep the weight off long term. So once we fix the foundation, we really are looking to reset and rebalance, improve metabolism, really get to the deeper inflammatory fat, the fat that is not touched by lowering calories alone. We have to maintain muscle mass during a weight loss program. This is going to help overall inflammation in the body. Again, going back to foundation, the foundation is going to improve hormone balance. It's going to increase our cells functioning better, what we refer to as cellular energy, and obviously just improve those symptoms, those gut and digestive issues. We have many different tests. It's important to understand that there are so many ways you can look at your overall health, but when it comes down to it, you have to go to the foundation. And the foundation is the gut, because the foundation, believe it or not, will drive how certain genetics are expressed. We have genes, yes, absolutely, that are going to set the stage for certain things in our health to happen over time. But what's important to understand is genes turn on and off, and the gut is going to drive a lot of those bad genes that we want to stay turned off. Obviously, the gut testing, food sensitivities is another test that we do. We'll talk a little bit about that. But again, gut health is going to drive, reasons why we have food sensitivity is the gut is going to drive hormones, whether they're balanced or, need certain support. And then there's the we have environmental toxin testing. We're not going to talk really a lot about that because we really want to hone in on the gut. That is why, we recommended to you to go this route. So I want you to really wrap your head around what this all means. So what is the gut? The gut is really the digestive tract that starts in the mouth and ends in the anus. So if you were to really look deep into the whole gut, you're going to this does not include the oral cavity, but the oral cavity is crucial. If you have oral problems, or you're constantly in the dentist, because there's so many, things going on there, that is considered a gut issue. So keep that in mind. Our stomach, our duodenum, jejunum, and ileum, colon. There are trillions and trillions of species that make up the human body. And there are certain species that live in certain segments of this digestive tract. And that's for very good reason, because of the environment, because of the acidity or the alkalinity, etc. But this is what all of these microorganisms are there to keep humans alive. So what happens over time? What happens over time is the gut becomes completely, compromised and demolished. That could be from, believe it or not, over exercising or under exercising. A lot of stress, stress can really damage and eliminate a lot of the healthy bacteria. Obviously, medications, not only antibiotics, we're talking Tylenol, Aleve, the over-the-counter omeprazoles and Prilosec and things like that are so damaging to the ecosystem. Our age can affect this. Our gastric motility, gastric secretions, of course, our diet and where we live. And, I guess it's important to just point out the mode of delivery. Did you have C-sections or were you born by C-section? Because that has such a significant role in how we're really beginning as a human being, because a lot of the healthy microorganisms are passed from the mother. And when you are delivered, or you come into this world by C-section, you're not getting a lot of those organisms that were really meant to be delivered to you. So again, just to reiterate what causes gut issues, please understand that gut issues are 99% of the time due to the choices that you make. And yes, you could have, some genetic predisposition to have certain gut issues for sure. But the majority of gut issues are because of this world we live in, our poor diet, our lifestyle. We're stressed, we don't sleep enough, we don't get enough exercise. We have inflammation in the body, which is causing inflammation in the gut. Like I said before, certain medications, this is just like a grenade in the gut. It's causing so much damage to the gut lining. The environment that we live in. Where do you live? Do you live close to an airport? Do you live close to the city where there's constant pollution? Do you have mold in your home? If you do, please tell us that. We need to know this. This is very important. We need to know this. If you have mold in your home, or if you have had mold exposed to you in other areas in your life. Your mental health absolutely affects your gut. And if you have had a bout of food poisoning in your life, that likely left some significant damage as well. So this is why we have to dig deeper. We have to look at what is going on in that ecosystem. You can see here, it is complex. This is a look at the digestive tract. Here is the liver, here's the stomach. We have our pancreas, you can see here, and then this is our small intestine. that basically will go right into the large intestine, also known as the colon. I could spend a whole hour really talking about this particular diagram, but you can see that it is a sophisticated system. And if there is damage in certain areas, you literally will lack, certain absorption or breakdown of certain nutrients. Like, for example, the stomach, you need stomach acid, you need what's referred to as intrinsic factor in the stomach in order for your body to absorb vitamin B12. And you would be shocked at how many people don't even have the ability to absorb vitamin B12 because of whether certain medications or certain infections that are going on. And, as you go down, you can just see in certain areas there is the ability where your body takes up certain nutrients. So again, we want to look at where the issues could be developing or starting from. So gut health is really, again, the foundation. I am going to show the tree again because this is our ecosystem. This is the gut. And if this is unhealthy, whatever your propensity is to develop certain chronic diseases or imbalances, it's basically going to start that progression. And because once you have gut issues, then you have the propensity for, you can go down the list: obesity, diabetes, systemic inflammation, endotoxemia. This is, again, most people don't understand, but there's constant toxins being released by certain organisms. Metabolic syndrome, autoimmunity, such as rheumatoid arthritis, hypertension, endocrine imbalances, colorectal cancers, and then your typical digestive issues, diarrhea, constipation, and then something that is more severe, inflammatory bowel disease, IBS, ulcerative colitis. This is all driven by the health of your gut. So again, this is why you are doing the test. It's crucial. This is just a snapshot of what we're going to be reviewing with you. The test is very comprehensive. We're going to be looking at all different components. Are there pathogens? Pathogens are bad. What does your normal bacteria flora look like? Other things we're going to be looking for is what's referred to as opportunistic bacteria. These are certain bacteria that can overgrow in compromised environments. So what is causing their overgrowth and how can we get that back into a normal level? We'll look at autoimmune triggers. Do you have yeast or fungus overgrowth? Are there parasites, worms, etc.? It is very detailed. So again, we are going to really have a good snapshot of where you are at with your health, your gut health today. I wanted to just briefly mention our MRT food sensitivity test because it does it really aligns with our gut health testing. And while we would rarely recommend the MRT test before the GI map, but for some people who are very motivated to get their health back to where it needs to be, they will do both tests at the same time, because the MRT food sensitivity test is really identifying foods that are causing tissue damage, inflammation in the body, fluid retention. Food, because the gut is damaged, food can become a serious problem. And when you can identify the foods that are causing the destruction and eliminate those, you can imagine that the healing happens very quickly, or a lot quicker than what it would normally without really honing in on those certain foods. And again, it can be the healthy foods. It can be the blueberries and the salads that you're eating every day. This is not about just identifying, McDonald's and things like that. So I love this slide here, and I'm just going to quickly give you an idea of what this all means, because this is our gut lining. So I showed you the whole digestive tract. Our gut lining is one cellular layer thick, but it is tight and it is strong. What happens over time is we first begin to lose this mucosal barrier that protects us, protects this lining, okay? So when we start to lose this mucosal barrier, then the cells begin to open because of inflammation. When the cells begin to open, you can see now things are getting into our body, into our circulation that should not be getting in there. And that's why all of the symptoms are happening. That's why our immune system is reacting, because now things are getting in that should not be there. So hopefully that makes just a little bit of sense. I just really like this slide because it helps people really visualize that. So we do test 180 different foods, chemicals, additives, flavor enhancers, and beverages in our MRT testing. And again, this is really to identify those foods that really could be holding you back. So an unhealthy gut, really, how does an unhealthy gut lead to weight loss resistance? So it leads to nutrient deficiencies that puts your body in a state of stress. So that's never good. An unhealthy gut can lead to hormone imbalances such as cortisol and ghrelin. These are hormones that are going to make you hungry and tell your body to store fat. It's going to cause sleep disturbances that affect your brain, your hormones, your cellular healing, and your energy. When you have an unhealthy gut, you're going to have food sensitivities, which again, like I just mentioned, is going to cause inflammation, further damage, and get your immune system to be overreactive. Eventually could lead to autoimmune disease. Too much bacteria causes actually more calorie extraction. So you could be, whatever you're eating, the bacteria could be storing more of the calories from food. Certain bacteria actually are really good at burning more calories, and we are able to identify those certain strains of bacteria. If you have current infections, your body is going to really be focusing on that, and it's really not going to be aligning with you for your weight loss strategies. The body focuses on certain things, and so that is why it is all about getting the body in good balance, so you're ready to really, when you do lose the weight, you will keep it off. So our process is like this. You picked up your sample kit, you're going to prep for your sample, you're going to send your sample in as soon as possible, complete the GI modules that are going to be sent to you. This is very, very important. Education is going to be powerful. The GI map is the starting point to get you into a healthier state. Your results are really going to dictate the length of time of your treatment plan. So again, just reinforcing the fact that this is a process, and it's not just about the food, and it's not just about certain supplements that we're going to give you. This is all about the other aspects that could be affecting your gut health. So when results come in, which takes about 2 weeks, you will be notified to schedule your appointment. When you come in for your appointment, we're basically going to interpret your results and provide a treatment plan. So during that session, we're going to review your results in great detail. We're going to look at the overall balance of the good and bad bacteria. We're going to identify infections, look at your inflammation. Did we find blood in the stool? Autoimmune triggers. Is your immune system overactive or underactive? We're going to look at parasites, worms, viruses. So again, we are looking at a lot of different components. We're going to develop a treatment plan that is going to include supplements. So that includes like certain nutrients, herbs, compounds that are scientifically proven to support gut healing. And then we're going to work with you on your diet. We're also going to touch on lifestyle and/or environmental triggers. After you go through this protocol, which usually is about 30 to 45 days, we're going to ask you to complete another symptom survey. We want to see where you are at. Have your symptoms decreased significantly? Where are you at with all of this? How do you feel? you're going to really, this is an opportunity for you to assess your diet and determine if what works for you right now, because what works for you right now won't be what your diet will be in, say, 3 to 6 months. So we're really trying to work with you on a diet that's going to control a lot of the damage and the symptoms. You absolutely could consider the food sensitivity test that I had talked about. It's going to be very important that you stay diligent with always really thinking about those different components. We do have, obviously, you can schedule a follow-up appointment if you want to kind of regroup on everything. We do have a package deal of 3 appointments for our patients that do our specialty tests, so you can definitely ask about that. So just to touch on our difference and a little bit about us, we did open in 2015. We are the only medical weight loss clinic owned by a registered dietitian and nutritionist. So that's me. I am obviously driven by so many different, driven by foundationally really healing and helping people so that, weight loss is actually obtainable. We're going to identify those root issues. We develop all of our own programs because we're very strategic. We know how the body works, and we know how to, target certain fat stores. We're experts in weight loss. It's all we do. And our programs are created by us through the years based on, our experience and our research. So what we basically, I'll just end with what we want for everybody is we want people to understand the truth. Our healthcare system is not always giving us the best information to get us better. It may be, helping treat a symptom at the moment, but we have to really help people understand what true health really is. We want people to self-respect themselves. We want people to love themselves again and be self-advocates. It's so important. Even if you're still seeing, primary care physician and you go in there and you're getting just medications every time you go, now turn it back on yourself and be prepared to ask the right questions, because really you're driving this. It's nobody else. And really, again, just to reiterate, we want long-term health for everyone that comes to see us. So that is it. Hopefully that was helpful, and we'll see you soon.